So today I recorded myself going through a practice of moving out of an anxious and scattered state into a state of balance and groundedness through breathing deeply, through movement, and through coming into the feeling body. So this moved me out of a state of anxious numbness into a state of sensation and groundedness. So I'd like us to start just by simply landing here in this moment and breathing. Allow our perception to shift from the mind and into the body. And that's going to take some time. It's not, with the snap of a finger, but it's with devotion, presence, and patience. So we're going to spend about the next minute and a half just breathing. Witnessing. And as you witness, if there's any initial movements that want to come through, feel free to allow those to pour out of you. Allow yourself to get comfortable. And just continue to breathe and to feel into your body. And we're going to start this practice with tapping. So take your fingertips and begin to tap over the top of the head. Start lightly. These are gentle love notes from the fingertips into every cell of our body, into every square inch of tissue, waking up and bringing life into. Allow the tapping to continue to move intuitively down the body. Continue breathing. So continuing to move the fingers down the body, tapping. There may be even some places that you want to rest your hand over for a moment. Maybe a place that wants to be squeezed. allow this all to come naturally and intuitively. And I want you to shift your perception from the fingertips into the body. So experiencing these taps through the part that you are tapping, the part that is being tapped. Allow this to be what informs the movement. And when you're in that space of experiencing the taps from the part of you that is being tapped, see if you can allow that part of you to receive more fully. Allow that part of you to open up and receive being touched, being experienced. Really take time here on each part of the body. The body takes time to come back into a state of balance after being in a state of stress. So be patient with it. Know that it is working. Keep tapping and breathing. You might notice the anxiety coming out and up more and showing itself, but that is only a part of the process. And because you're being present with it, because you're allowing it to come up, it's doing the work of moving through. But if you stay with the practice and continue to allow it to express itself, then it'll move through. And that's where the balance comes into place. Once you've made your way to the feet, bring your feet together or crisscross if that's more comfortable. And I want you to, for a moment, just hold the feet. Hold the feet and notice the body as it is after that practice. Feel the entire body from head to toe. Allowing head and toe to be in communication with each other, in communion, in relationship. And when you're ready, you can let the feet go. And with only our eyes, we're going to look up. And then bringing the eyes back to center. And then looking to the right. With just the eyes. And then back to center. And then the left. then center and looking down. And then center. And then with your head, tilting it upwards and breathing into it. And then to the right and breathing into that. And then downward and breathing into that. And then to the left and breathing into that. We're going to continue this throughout the body. So then from the perception of the neck, reaching it forward and upward and breathing into it. And then reaching the neck to the right and breathing into it. And then downward, breathing into the back of your neck. And then reaching the neck to the left, breathing into it. And again, continuing down the body, so reaching the chest upward, feeling and breathing into it, and then tilting it to the right, breathing there. And then rounding a bit and breathing into the back of your chest. And then to the left. So giving the entire body a chance to be felt and experienced, to be breathed into. And then with the belly, we're going to breathe into the front. And then the right. And the back. And then breathing and feeling into the left side of the belly. And then we're going to move that down into the front of the pelvis. And then breathing into the right side of the pelvis. And then the back. And then the left. And then moving down into into the front of the thighs, breathing into them. And the right sides of the thighs. The left sides of the thighs. And the back of the thighs. Breathing into them. And then the front of the knees. The right sides of the knees. The left sides of the knees. And the back of the knees. And then the front of the lower legs. The right sides of the lower legs. The back of the lower legs. And the left sides of the lower legs. And then breathing into the feet. The left sides of the feet. The right sides of the feet. And the bottom of the feet. And then we're going to bring some movement into this. So I want you to bring some circular motions into the ankles and the feet. Begin rolling out the ankles. And I want you to really feel every part of this. So feel the way that the heels dig into the ground. And then feel the way that the toes reach out. And the ankles dig in and the toes reach out. Feeling all parts of the foot. And then I want you to experience how the rest of the body responds to this movement. So allow the pelvis to move and shift in reaction to the movement of the feet. And experience how the spine wants to move and react. Allowing the neck and the shoulders to come into it. like one big wave, allowing the entire body to respond to this movement. And then I want you to begin controlling these circles through the wrist. So now the wrist and the hands are the leaders. And feeling every part of that movement. From when the wrist and the hands look upward, from their circling until they're downward again. And just really stretching and feeling into every part of the hands and the wrist. And only when it feels good to you, you can start to move these circles into the elbows and through the shoulders, and allowing the entire body to respond from the circles being created in the wrist. So now the entire body is rippling in motion from the wrist down to the feet. And I want you to let this morph from being controlled by the hands to being melted and expressed and controlled through the entire body all at once. So it's just one big wave rippling out of the entirety of you. And when you feel completeness in that, you can meet me with your hands resting upon your knees, eyes closed, and stillness, breathing and experiencing the peace that was just created in the body. If any organic movements wish to be moved through the body as we close this practice, certainly allow them to do so. When you feel complete, you can open your eyes and transition back into your day.